have fallen asleep on my couch and woke up and saw the time at
Oh
like
no.
8:05. I'm like, oops,
Yeah.
I have a plate of raspberries.
Feel that
that
though.
looks fantastic.
Ooh, yum.
I have a
I
magic blue can.
and I found my grocery store sells rum extract, so I'm making butter rum muffins this week.
Exciting.
Oh,
That
that
sounds
sounds so good.
fantastic.
You get rum extract.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know that
an
was a thing.
extract of rum.
It's
Uh-oh,
Oh, my love.
it lets you it lets you
Hey,
bake
bar wench.
with rum without having it be alcoholic.
I remember my mom and my sibling made beer bread, but they didn't warn me they were making beer bread. So I come home and open the cupboard. There was a case of beer in the cupboard. And I can assure you, even of the people in my household that now enjoy drinking anything, beer has never been any of our drinks of choice. And at that time, we weren't old enough, and my mom does not drink. And I was so confused. And then Robin's like, there it is. We're getting ready to bake. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then they clarified that they meant bread. And I was even more confused because what do you mean the alcohol is going into the bread?
Alcohol goes into the bread. Cooks out of the bread.
Because I
goes
was
in the
like
bread.
in 11th grade. I had no
goes
idea
in
what
the
was
bread.
happening.
In the bread.
And then
In the
I
bread.
learned that like when you cook with alcohol, it cooks off.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's an interesting. And then I think that my follow-up question is, so what's the point of it? And Mom was just like, flavor. And I was like, I don't know that I agree with this. But the bread
Thank
was
you.
yummy. I had some. It was great. It was delicious. But it threw me off so bad. I was like, we're not drinking.
I don't.
Second off, why beer? What, Mike?
Oh, I was like, I don't know how many people do people drink beer for the flavor? Is that a thing?
I know people who do.
Yes.
Yeah.
My husband does.
When I
okay.
worked at Home Depot,
Yes.
there was a guy, cool guy, liked working with him. He was nice. He was capable. Everything you want in a coworker. Right. Talkative, but not too talkative. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was great. And one day, in my first week working with him, it's Friday, and he's super hyped. And he doesn't usually. Up so far, I didn't know he did hype. Everyone else, like I'm usually a 9 out of 10. He's like a 3. So for neurotypical people, he's like a 5, right? And I'm like, okay, you're a boring, reliable human. Awesome. And Friday he comes in at like a 12, and I'm like, what is happening? And he goes, oh, it's Friday. And I went, right.
Okay.
Could you give me a little bit
Little
more than
bit
that?
more, please. Yeah.
Right. And he went, warm beer and chocolate cake. And I went, excuse me? Every
beer?
week, he warm beer and chocolate cake. He was super hyped to go home every Friday. He goes, I work hard. I don't have any kids, right? Like that is, I don't spend a lot of money on me. I spend a lot of money on my wife. I spend a lot of money on the things we have together, the house, the car, whatever, right? I'm real
People I know
responsible.
that like beer prefer cold beer.
Right? He goes, the thing
What?
I get, the thing I treat me with, a slice of chocolate cake and warm beer. And I went, I have no perspective whatsoever on beer. None.
I
And still
love the thing
somehow
to look
warm beer
forward to
sounds
the end.
gross
It's a
as
little
hell.
treat for yourself. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
I have questions about the taste, and I have concerns about the taste.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's why they sell non-alcoholic beer. Is
Yeah.
so then you have the taste of beer without the alcohol.
Yeah.
Right, so
It makes you
presumably
happy.
beer
Still-
must taste good to somebody, right?
Working at a grocery store, there is still enough alcohol in that beer that they ask for ID.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
same in the
Like
restaurant
my system
business.
programs it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
warm beer and chocolate cake every week for a
Jeez.
couple of years. You bet. Super hyped
Good for
every
them.
week like a
Oh.
machine.
Hey.
Thanks for
I'm-
talking about chocolate cake when I can't have carbs anymore.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
They make chocolate cake
And
and
beer.
vanilla cake and red velvet cake.
When
Yeah, that's
You
when
monster.
I turned 21 and I started going to karaoke like on my own and everything, it was great. I had no idea what to even try or drink, so I would ask for the bartender's like favorite, and it would usually be a beer or whatever. And then I had one who was like, well, you've said you've tried these couple of things. It doesn't sound like this is your thing. Do you know, have you ever had a cider? And I said, I don't know what that is other than apple cider. And he went,
It's
oh,
great.
and he handed me, I don't remember what it was called, but it was a cider. And I was like, see, this I can get behind. The beers weren't bad, but it was very much like it's a thing to drink. which is not what I do.
You have not
So-
had cider until you've had Two Towns cider.
But ciders are
Mhm.
definitely more my
They're
speed.
my
And
go-to.
also a cider is something that I can sip on throughout the whole time versus any of the other drinks that I enjoy that I look down and they're gone. And
Yep.
so all of a sudden I have nothing to drink after about 10 minutes because they're gone real fast and we're done. And we are done. We are done and we're done. But a cider I can sip on the whole time and I don't have to then separately be like, can I have a Coca-Cola, please? Okay, thank you.
So yeah, not to get us on track or anything.
Oh,
but,
never.
I was just
No.
gonna suggest we
Listen,
should
it's
probably
not even
roll some
8:30
dice.
I was gonna
yet.
say, yeah.
We're 25 minutes, and I figure that should maybe be the cutoff, so we at least have an episode and not just like a few
What do you
brief
mean?
vignettes.
What do you mean? I'm sure that Molly doesn't want to have any attention drawn onto her, so we could just like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of this. Could be an episode where there's going to be a lot of
Molly. No, Mackenzie is the player for Molly. Absolutely.
Also, Heather, you're late to the party, so you missed. I have been bribed today to fuck everyone except Stormy.
That is not what our discussion entailed.
So here's the thing: if you're fucking people, that requires consent. So it doesn't matter
Not
if
within
you've
the
been bribed
table,
or
it
not.
doesn't.
Yeah, I was going to say because I mean, Stormy is also the only person that's close enough for you to actually make physical contact. So,
to be clear, when Stormy says that's not what our conversation entailed, what he means is he refused to tell me what the bribe was for. So I'm just gonna have to build a narrative from here. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
All right, we ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, Mike.
previously on Shadow Sky.
Little
All right, so Fazl is walking us through the town. He waves his hand over the people, and all of them brighten right back up. Fazl recognizes Hoshi, but doesn't really make it known because he's embarrassed that he didn't recognize her earlier, like meeting through the backstory. Fazl asks how Hoshi's sister is, and Hoshi just says, "I took her place," without context. Fazl does not know her as Hoshi and knows her by a different name, but we don't know what that other name is.
I love the response in the Discord about that. What do you mean she doesn't like? Those are great. Like fucking what?
Now we are trying to look for the other council members, the original council members. He said that he knows Tyron was replaced by the Tom, and that was the arrangement. He is back on the planet, and he has found a family on Earth. He doesn't know that we know, but it's like an open secret, so everyone let him believe that they didn't know that the Swippy swap
or the
happened.
council knew.
Yes, that's the technical term, Swippy swap.
Swippy swap.
Kai is very upset that the council did not tell anyone about Earth. He sees that Earth is a sign of hope for the entire human population. Fazl said that it's unfair because if only some people will be allowed to go, how do they choose who gets to go? It would be like colonizing Earth. The original swap of Fazl and Tom was an accident, but they made the deal to keep it going. Something took the Tom's power and supercharged it. Fazl's theory was that the Tom was not acclimated to the ship's pressure, so when they did become acclimated, the powers grew and grew. The council admits that there's a small gravitational issue. It runs on a star that is running out. If the star fails, the base falls into the moon and everybody dies. Now he agrees with Kai to get people back to Earth to get off the ship that is powered by the dying star. The point of the meditation was to meditate to calm himself down so he can wash the calmness over all the people to tell them the news. The team is very mad because it takes away people's rights to feel what they truly feel and act how they truly want to act. There's a composite of crystals and steel that is a food source for these big scary monsters.
Raar.
We are
Sorry.
That was you?
That was an intrusive thought that won.
The impulsive thought said, and now. I thought that was Becky. I am so sorry. It didn't sound right, but I thought that was a Becky thing, and then you apologized.
Okay.
that just needs to be the title of this episode. Just Raar.
Yep.
Okay, but anyway, big scary monsters on Earth. There's a composite of crystals and steel that is a food source for these big scary monsters. We're thinking that we may need to go down to Earth to look for this source to get the materials, or maybe do it ourselves. Because this composite is kind of like another way how we can like power the ship and save everybody. Hoshi is trying to leverage with Fazil what he's willing to give to get the needed peace. Hoshi says that she's willing to negotiate, and Kai says we need to go to get a resignation from Theron, and Fazil wants to nominate Kai to become part of the council. Fazil provides us with a fancy council ship. For is very excited about this ship. Hoshi says that if he starts to pull on wires, he's going to get shot. He now wants to take apart the grav axe, but he needs to be careful not to send the gravestone through the floor of the ship, breaking everything. Kai also finds out that there really isn't people on the moon, and he is very upset about that. We spend the 45-minute flight arguing about the difference between knowing how something works in comparison to doing the thing, aka for being able to take things apart but then not know how to work them and put them back together. We learned that Hoshi is from Earth. It's very Wakanda-esque. Nightlife is static at all times, even during the day. A bit of clouds. You can tell someone's status by how put together their outfit is. Bartering is huge here. Hoshi says, okay, download. Hoshi is the name I took when I joined the organization. That is not what my parents call me. If you come with me, be on your best fucking behavior. Kai, I can get you Earth, but my parents have to help negotiate. Do not be surprised if you see a lot of artwork or sculptures made of this said composite material. Rena, I do not know how much interactions you have had with my parents, but don't embarrass me. I expect you to help me with politics. Molly, I have a garden for you. 4, I will need you to help with craft stuff. And Tanamichi, I need you to keep me sane. Keep this a fucking secret. I love my home. I'm glad to be gone, and I don't want to be here. Everyone is friendly. No one is kind. Those of you who go to my home, wipe your feet first. If anything asks, we are friends. If anyone asks, we are friends of the Sorrow family. I also didn't put in the notes, but Rena was very excited to see Hoshi's parents, because they go way back.
I forgot just the tone that I had used last week. Wow.
Yes.
I sure didn't. It was
As
great.
soon as you did that, I was like, okay.
There was a distinct listen up. It was great.
All right, so
I was like, oh,
Hoshi,
Heather's locking in now. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Hoshi has Molly parked next to a steampunk pirate ship. Molly notices this as a ship of people who are actively looking for her. Molly is terrified, and Kai drops a tracker onto this pirate ship. Molly's shoulder blade starts to beep, as well as devices that these group of people also have start to beep, and they immediately start looking for her.
We had attempted to hide Molly via helmet, and that didn't mean a damned thing.
Sure did not.
We tried.
Go.
So the heavily armed soldiers from the other ship, you hear one of them tap the other, goes, Captain, that can't be right. And the apparently captain, who all looks the same except for one big red stripe diagonally across the chest.
As in they look like clones, or as in they're dressed the same?
They're dressed the same.
Okay.
That's a fair question. You are in a very sci-fi world. And captain comes up and taps his arm thing. It goes, fucking things on the fritz. There's no tracker around here.
I'm just gonna keep walking.
And it keeps beeping. Would everybody make a stealth roll to take advantage of that moment?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Eclipse, you want to roll?
I have the Shinobi Shizoku. There we go. That's like I get +1 bonus to stealth in dim or dark light. Like dim light or darkness.
You bet.
While
the dock is often lit well, there happens to be a power outage in the city that I didn't get time to mention last time. Which is probably bad, but in this moment is good.
Oh, hey, Eclipse, can you not?
Yeah, I failed.
Oh, me too.
I'm taking the negative dice that you and I talked about, Jay. And I only had 2 dice to begin with, and I got a 1 on my 1 die.
Ooh. So good news, it's a group roll, which means as long as at least half the group passes, you get away okay.
Remind me, +1 is in +1 die to the thing, right?
+1 die, right.
Okay, that was my question.
Looks like Kai biffed it too. There are 6 of you. That's not a good start.
Okay.
I got 6 dice with this. Move your
I
buckles.
had 6 dice. I have 2 6s, a 5, a 4, and 2 3s.
Ooh.
Hey.
So 6
Oh.
successes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've passed enough times for all of us. Unfortunately, it's just you.
Nope. 5 successes.
5
I
6,
got
cool.
a 6, a 5, and 2 3s. So that'd be 3 successes because a 6 counts as 2.
Oh,
Yep.
good. Then 4 as long as you pass. The team walks
Oh
away
no,
well.
I got a 2.
Oh,
no.
oh,
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 okay.
oh,
I
We're
had
not the
one dice
stealthiest
to
bunch.
roll.
Oh, buddy.
oh,
Pips.
oh
Oh my
no.
god.
So
Sorry,
I
my
love the
cat-
narrative here because those of you that passed just incredibly well. And your friends fucking kick a ramp and go, ow, fuck, and draw attention to themselves.
That's
Like,
absolutely what happened.
like, way to go.
Wait,
And the armed soldiers hear you, right? And they look over. And while I stress that they can't recognize you through the helmet, they look at the beeping, and you watch one of them sort of tilt his head like, hey, aren't we missing somebody of that general shape? And they go,
General shape.
yeah, we are. And they step
You
towards you
mean a
as
humanoid?
well. I figure they're not humanoids aren't all the
Um,
same size,
This
General
might be
shape?
general shape.
I have a
Okay.
thing. I have blinding powder.
Sounds like it's bad for people's vision. What does that do
Um,
exactly? I feel like I know, but what does that
You'll
do?
see.
Here, let me use it and you'll find out.
Oh yeah. This egg contains a fine powder of irritants. By
Oh.
taking an action, a character can make a marksmanship check to throw the powder into the eyes of a target within 15 feet to cause them to suffer the blinded condition until they take 2 actions to remove it.
Oh, damn. So they've used
So
a turn.
yeah, if you want to panic, go and throw. What I initially heard you say 5 pound, I was like,
Uh-huh.
what?
No.
Like it's like a bag of flour. Holy crap!
Poof. No, it says this egg, so I'm assuming it's like a little like
Yeah,
egg
yeah.
of powder.
Yeah. So they swing their guns up at you
I
and
think-
step towards you and say, halt, but it's your
I-
turn. Your turn, you're being the team. Let's start with you there, egg thrower. What do you
I
want to
will
do?
only do it if everybody else starts to like run instead of doing talking.
I was gonna say, let's see if we can maybe talk our way out of this one real quick
Yeah.
first, because
Because like Tanamichi's like hidden too, so he's gonna stay out of it
Mhm.
until that moment that it's not gonna go our way.
Right. Okay, let's not start with you. Kai, you had the crazy idea to talk to these 6 heavily armed soldiers. What do you want to do about it?
well, I'm gonna kind of telepathically beam a message to Rina and Hoshi. Like, hey, so how much pull do you guys have around here, and can we weaponize that to our advantage in the situation?
Oh, she's gonna pull Molly, kind of do like a switcheroo-ish and make sure that Molly is behind her and kind of like push that way and kind of like get into their field of vision. And
Did Molly communicated that they're after her to us?
nope, but her shoulder blade started beeping and then they all went, huh?
And their radar started
hello?
beeping. And Molly mentioned that she was terrified of these people.
So
Okay.
Hoshi is going to basically try to do the most in your face. Rena's too playful when she's snotty. Hoshi is trying to like, I am looking down my nose at you.
I think that's fair. I think Hoshi commands a certain presence, and Rina comes across more of a powerful brat, but a brat.
And is going to.
And we love her for it.
No shade here.
There's
I
very
hope you
specific
are not
circumstances that it's
insinuating.
worked very well.
I hope that you are not insinuating that anyone under the protection of the Sora family is wanted. Are all of your paperwork in order?
He'll snap his fingers and they'll produce documents on a scan board, of course. They don't give you actual paper. But they hand you what is essentially a digital clipboard and go, please check.
She is going to do the most like in your face, scrutinize every little thing. I'm assuming they do have everything in order.
Oh, not just in order. The most OCD, detail-oriented
Beautiful.
person you know would love it.
She'll hand it back and just, I see. And yet, that doesn't answer the first part of my statement.
Actually, the paperwork does. The person you're talking to, well, the person you are addressing, not the person who handed you the paperwork. That's Captain Ajax. He leads a team of international hunters. They hunt missing assets, which are to say people and or projects that are not qualified as people while they are assets, which means they don't have rights, which means they're not protected by anyone or anything.
She stands by her statement, though.
While your political authority here, especially, comes with a great deal of weight, you don't actually outrank them. Unless you would like to lay claim to an asset, which has its own political problems.
What would I know about that, and what would need to happen?
Given your backstory, probably fairly little, because you've made it abundantly clear that you didn't want the job. Rena would know a great deal about that.
It wasn't even that she didn't want the job, as they weren't training her for the
job. Assets are like...
Yeah. You know what? Instead of handing it back, I'll hand it to Rena.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, Rena's going to be like, you mean the asset that I acquired?
Could you show us an ownership paper? Or a claim form would be fine.
I don't have to show you anything. Talk to Xanatos.
He'll talk to the guy next to me. Goes, she's right that she doesn't have to. He goes, I know that, but if she doesn't have to, we can argue about that later.
And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I am glad that all your paperwork is in order. It bodes better for you. I'm going to turn and I'm walking away. And hopefully by this point, Molly is not standing next to me still.
Is Molly still the ramp? Is Molly still beeping?
Yes. Yeah.
If we can kind of crowd around to block line of sight, can I try and stop it?
You'd have to cut into Molly's arm. There's a subdermal tracker in Molly's arm.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have thoughts about that. We should discuss on route.
So Rita's not done with them.
Yeah, I heard.
Good.
So okay, so first of all, she is a claimed asset by me.
Sorry,
you need to
wait.
Did I say she?
You sure did. Ajax will immediately apologize. Goes, I didn't know. My apologies. If you could claim the name of the asset and what function they provide, as is custom, we will let you go. We'll even apologize.
I cannot do that because of the mission that I'm currently on.
We're here to conduct a transaction between Xanatos and the Sora family. If you interrupt this transaction, both parties will have reason to be cross with your organization. We understand. We would prefer that did not happen.
We'll send Xanatos a bill. Have a great day.
Oh, and deactivate that immediately because it's going to interfere with what's currently going on.
I would love to, but I don't have the authority to do that, nor do I have the capacity to do that. We can only do that from the hunter station.
There's another way to deal with that situation.
Oh, yes, please. If the asset has been claimed, feel free to remove the tracker yourself, should you have the money or talent or skill or all three.
Okay, have a good day.
Hoshi is down the ramp, making sure that Molly is...
Thank you, guys.
Like she has you by the wrist instead of by the hand and is like pulling you along. No, we're going this way now.
And she is like frozen. Like it takes a lot for you to get her to move. Yeah.
And then when we are down the street, down the ramp, around the corner, Hoshi is going to go, how do you do that all the time, Rena?
Rena, for clarity,
I love that shit so much, and I have never tried it myself.
You
for
met
clarity,
my father.
assets are kind of, it's sort of a gray
Mhm.
mail situation.
Mm.
It's very, we didn't steal that thing that you came to shoot at us for because we'd have to admit that we did it. Like assets are
Mhm.
people or things that are off the books. So traditionally, if you claim an asset, only political people get to do that. Houses sometimes, individual people. Xanatos probably has some sort of exception going
Mhm.
on with enough money.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, you even if you can claim an asset, you don't, because in doing that, you said, "I have a slave" or something like it, which is illegal. So you don't actually
Mm.
claim an asset up front
Oh,
like that.
well, Rena doesn't care.
And yeah,
So
no, I was
what
gonna
this
say,
means is that
is why
Ajax
Hoshi's
is going
not.
to, assuming Ajax is good on his word, Ajax will call Xanatos, send him a bill. Xanatos will call you and be upset that you've cost him money. Like,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then almost certainly ask who or what was so important that you cost him a buttload of money.
Person you gave chocolate cake to.
Like,
Yes.
problem for another time, though.
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, no, Hoshi, I think that's also like, she's just literally hands on knees. Oh my gosh, how do you do that all the time?
I mean,
My heart
Yeah.
is racing.
I literally got in so much trouble if I couldn't do that at the drop of a hat.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh. Okay.
Tanamichi just walks out from the shadow, pulls his hood down. Is like, that could have gone so much worse.
Just find your inner
Also,
superiority complex. It's easy.
Molly,
Like,
What just
I am
happened?
sorry that I had to claim you in that way.
right? Do you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah. What?
Do you feel a little bit
Let's-
like a
This
good?
also means that you are now officially tied to me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
What was all that?
you know,
Illegal.
I don't know.
I got that much.
I really here's the thing.
Listen.
I
How much mad scientist is in you?
huh?
How much mad scientist is in you?
Well,
Oh, that's a
more
weird question. Like,
I mean, more
It's a
than
very
you would
Brita question, though.
that's
Mhm.
very valid. So I appreciate that you did that, but also I kind of wish that you wouldn't have because I don't want to get you in trouble.
That's my life.
that's
We're already in
fine.
trouble with her dad.
Walking trouble.
Molly, I don't know how to tell you this. We're interdimensional ninja assassins.
Okay, I mean
Oh,
that's a good
shit.
point, but
Just like, by the way, you're a badass.
Just-
so Molly just keeps stuttering over her words over and over, and she's just like really trying to phrase it. And so she's like, "Well, I'll tell you guys something, but you have to promise to not be mad."
Oh boy.
No promises.
But I'm not gonna say it until you promise not to be mad.
Oh, I promise.
I have far more critical and time sensitive things to be mad at.
I also want you to promise that you're not gonna try to kill me.
Oh,
Definitely promise.
I'm guessing
I
you're a
definitely want to know
yokai.
now.
So
yes.
So in that moment, Molly doesn't really say anything, and all she does is like you see her space buns
Uh-huh.
here.
Uh-huh.
She undoes her space buns and a couple of antennas pop out, and she's like, I'm a yokai.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I called this twist, just not with your character.
Yeah,
so there
you
you
called
go.
it with Hoshi.
Right, yeah.
You're like,
Right.
Hoshi's it. I'm like, she's no.
I would have told you. Well, actually, I
Rena
wouldn't have
has
because
so many
Mackenzie
questions
asked
for
me
you
not
now.
to. But
Hoshi is just gonna, you know what? We've met worse.
Yeah,
You're
I
fine.
was definitely expecting if I mean I was hoping it was a big if because I really didn't want to tell you guys because I didn't want you all to hate me because I really like you guys, but I was expecting like all five of you to like draw your guns on me immediately.
Wait a minute. Does that
I
mean
don't
you're
have
not
a
from
gun.
Steel Court?
No. Like I am, but I'm not. Like okay, so here's the thing. I belonged to a really, really awful organization, and those guys are from the organization. They're like top tier from that organization. And like you guys know I'm a botanist, right? Like I do plants. I do plants, I do flowers, I do poisons, I do healing, I do plants. I got sent to I got sent on a raid and it was just me. Okay. It was just me. And I don't know why they picked me. It was a stupid decision for them to pick me because I do plants. I don't do technology. Like I don't know technology. And there's a lot of this
Establish
research
the difference
going on.
between doing and knowing, you know. Sorry, continue. That's a Heather,
Yeah,
that's not Hoshi.
and there was a really big research and I didn't even understand what they were asking me to look for, but a really big research going on at this university and it was a really big deal and they sent me to go collect the evidence and like crash this lab and not even crash it. I was supposed to go in and not touch anything other than what I needed. But the thing is, when you send somebody who knows plants into a mechanical lab who doesn't know what they're talking about, everything looks the same. And so I'm like trying to grab a bunch of stuff and something, I think a wire crossed and something exploded and this and everything went haywire, okay? And I got caught.
Hoshi's just like while you're doing all this, Hoshi is just gonna put like a hand on your shoulder as a like take a breath.
And
She's not gonna say
she's
anything.
like on the verge of trying to breathe, but also break down into tears at the same time.
Aw.
And she's
What
like,
was the
I
name of
was,
the lab?
huh?
What was the name of the lab?
Why do you ask?
This sounds kind of familiar.
Uh, I I don't know. It was
Eyebrow
like
raise.
Krieger something. I like again. They just kind of sent me into it, and so all of a sudden the lab's blowing up. Everything catches on fire. I broke a box that was supposed to not be destructible. Like it was
Wait-
literally said
Wait a
indestructible on the
fucking
side,
minute.
but I
That
broke
was
it. But
my lab.
Uh-oh.
what?
But the plot thickens
No,
into
it
the
was
fire
not.
paste.
No, no. Okay. I messed that up. That couldn't have been yours. Like there was nothing left to lap valve when I was done with it.
I know. Why do you think I'm here and not
Oh my
in
god.
lab?
Did you spit take?
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
The keyboard remains sovereign. It's okay.
And so I messed up and then the authorities came to I guess was your lab, which I had okay, this is really embarrassing. I'm so sorry. But then they caught me and then they brought me to like the super secret like disposal of the yokai place and they were gonna kill me. And this one really nice lady was like, no, don't kill her yet. I want to talk to her. And then they brought me into this really nice lab and this really nice clan and they taught me how to like actually enjoy life and there's more to life than just following
I
somebody's
look so
orders.
judgmental right now. Oh my word.
Oh no. I'm there's two trains of thought. One is how to convince four not to take this personally against Molly, which is blame the organization, not the person. The other is thinking very enthusiastically about all the information Molly has to provide now.
Ooh.
And so,
Yeah.
this is kind of above table, but Molly, so yokai have very strong emotions and they have a connection to one specific emotion. Molly's is excitement.
I
And
was thought it would be
so,
curiosity.
yeah.
It's interesting.
No. Could
And
not
no,
have
not
guessed.
excitement, no.
Ah.
And so being a part of that main organization that was really suppressed and that was looked down upon because she was different, right? It wasn't an emotion of anger. It wasn't an emotion of revenge. It wasn't an emotion of drive. It was happiness and excitement that drove Molly. And she was not in an environment that let that thrive at all. And so now with her being in this organization and she got a lot of therapy from and like rehabilitation from this clan that she went to be like, it's okay to be yourself. She thrives when she's excited. So she gets once per session one extra dice roll with something that excites her to kind of give her that extra power to connect with that emotion. But on the flip side, if she's scared, if she's upset, if she's angry, she loses the dice roll because it's against her
The
strong
antithetical
emotion.
emotion.
Correct. And so we kind of flipped that into a mechanical ability as well.
I love that.
Well, she is going to very gently, like, take the helmet back because you've obviously taken
She's
it off.
still wearing the helmet during the meltdown. I love that little tidbit.
But she'll just like very gently, not necessarily not
You might wanna
necessary
keep that
verily,
on.
not necessarily very skilled, but she will put your hair back around the antenna gently ish. It doesn't look as good as it does in the picture, but it's there, and goes, I wouldn't take those down again here because I'm sure you can guess. But also, this city is not ignorant of yokai who don't match our expectations.
Eyebrow raise.
So I wouldn't broadcast it.
Well, that's why I've been trying to hide it this whole time. And like I didn't know how else to say it with you guys. And I guarantee you she made sure there was no one else around before she took her hair down because she's like really insecure about it. Like she has
So-
antennas sticking out of her head, like bug antennas.
I am concerned that a city that is eternally lit is dark.
You should be concerned about more than that. Would everybody make an awareness roll?
Oh,
Oh.
absolutely I will. Does it happen to have anything to do against being assassinated? And not that it would, but if it does, I get an extra die roll. Just needing to know if I need to add that in there.
I wouldn't add it at this time, no.
Okay, okay, just checking, you know.
I have 7 dice for this roll.
Nice.
I have a fun thing called mental math. Is there any kind of assassination action happening at this point?
Also, no.
Okay, because I
Well,
get
hold
2
on.
more dice to that.
A
if
question worth
there is.
a question worth pitching to you and Hoshi. Would those bonuses apply to an assassination you were seeing that wasn't targeting you or
It's
anyone
just
in the
an
party?
assassination, that's all it says, so I would say
Then yes, feel free to add your extra
Okay.
dice.
So that is 3 successes.
Cool.
I got 3 4s, a 6, a 1, and a 3.
I have
So the
7
6 and
dice
1
for
went,
this as well.
then I got 3
Yep.
4s.
I have 3 successes.
Cool.
Awesome.
We only need one more success on the team. Cool. 3 over there.
Oh.
Awesome.
3, 5, 5, 5, 6.
Awesome.
Nice.
So even
I
if
got-
Rena tanks it, you still succeed as a team. Cool.
Yeah, I got 3 6s, 2 1s, a 2, and a 4. So 3?
1 success.
3.
I got 2
Three, yeah.
successes.
Oh.
Because I have
Nice.
3
I have-
6s and 2 1s. So I have
Oh, I
one more
my
6
brain
than
heard that
1.
as like you had equal 1s and 6s. Never mind.
No.
So everyone
Almost.
notices the very impressive, like 1 to 2 population, 1 soldier for every 2 people, military occupation. What those of you who have the eyes for that kind of thing notice is that there was a little poof of smoke, and one of those soldiers vanished into an alley and didn't come back out. And you see a little glint of what probably is a gun hitting the alley floor. Like at a video game, somebody came out
Mm,
and they just didn't come back.
we should,
Danger mode. We gotta go.
Go
Right now.
right now.
Find a vehicle. We gotta get out of here.
Is the whole city dark or just this area?
It looks like this area, the only immediate light provided, looks like the military occupation comes with a power outage.
Okay. Hoshi is going to go ahead and lead the way to the nearest lighted section, not necessarily straight to her home, even though we
You
are
bet.
parked closest to her home.
You bet.
I
should stress that your home is in the section where there is a power outage.
Yep, that's why
Okay.
she's not immediately going there.
You bet.
And gonna make our way as quickly as we can to the lighted section while keeping an eye behind us.
You bet. Hoshi, do you have any like friends or allies you might run into on the street or apartments you could stay at that aren't your families, that sort of thing?
I would say a couple that she would be in an absolute emergency willing to try. But it would depend on how, like, she definitely thinks that the friendship is probably less than it actually was. She probably devalued their friendship towards her in a way of like, oh, but they couldn't actually care that way about me. They couldn't.
Oh, I see.
Absolutely, like that type of. So she wouldn't immediately be like, ah, yes, we should go there. But if they did, they're probably going to be more receptive than she's anticipating.
Right. Does this strike you as a big enough concern to do something like that?
If her tower is in the power outage, yes.
Okay.
Tower?
You'll find that every other, like on doors, on people's cars, loose in the street, because there were just that many of them, there are leaflets everywhere and big 3D holographic projections that are essentially maybe your neighbor's an alien, tell us. Right? There's a hotline number. It's very tattle on your neighbors. It's very ICE is what I'm trying to say.
Love that.
If you see something, say something.
Exactly.
I think we saw something.
Yeah.
Four.
Right. And you don't rat out your neighbors.
Or
No.
if you're
Even if they're mad for
Don't
blowing up your
follow
lab.
those signs.
So
Right,
here's the thing I will say for her town or her city. There's obviously always going to be people, but it's very I didn't see anything city.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see anything, so why would I say anything? City.
Right.
So
Snitches get stitches.
yeah, you saw nothing, and then if I'm sorry, like the whole incident that just happened on the plane, on the dock, not plane. If anyone else saw that, no, they didn't, because no one died and a body was not left. That's when someone says something. Is if there's still a body in the street. That's when someone says something. We're like, hey, what's happening here?
Keyword still.
Because you're a low enough fish that we can catch you. If you clean up your messes, no, we're not messing with you because you're actually competent and we don't want to mess with that. No, thank you. So she will beeline towards the nearest lighted section.
Your tower to people who live around it, what do they think it is?
A dark tower.
Yeah, like the Stephen
I
King
would
novel.
say that it's all of the skyscrapers that surround the center one are political.
Okay.
But they are all a mix of office, residential, diplomat meeting places, that type of thing. If you have friends that live in any of them, you'll know, oh, here's what actually takes place. Or if you've had to go to a meeting and you've seen someone like going clearly unlocking their own door and going home. But any tower could be taken out and the whole thing doesn't collapse. But every tower is a mix of all of it.
Right, I understand.
So and the city knows that it all is related. Like that is where the city power is. But again, if you haven't had to be in there, you don't necessarily know what has what. And even if like a friend is like, oh, but this person, someone else is gonna be like, no, I had a meeting over there. What do you mean? Like,
yeah,
it's not as not straightforward as somebody out of the know can get.
Nice.
I don't know. If
so as you advance towards the tower, this area
I'm not going towards my tower. I'm going towards the lighted section of the city.
Right, those are currently the same.
Okay,
Which is why I brought that up. The tower is lit and is the area around it, but the military occupation is literally walking towards it as we speak. Like if you want to get in that tower unseen, you got to do it now.
Yep. Gonna grab Molly's hand. I'm trusting Tanamichi's gonna be able to do stealthy things.
He's been in the shadow this whole time.
Right. Yep. Do you have, say, I don't know, a trapdoor, a back door, a alleyway teleport, or something like that?
I would say there's a servant's entrance for sure.
Cool. I will see you in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Stormy and I had a very fun Discord chat after the last session, by the way.
You want to share?
Yeah, just trying to figure out like how everything would work and
merging backstories or
Yes, I love it.
So yeah, Molly fucked up For's like entire life. So
basically, yeah.
I honestly, the way that you guys played that out too, I thought that Stormy didn't know that was coming up, and that was done so well.
I had no idea
I was like, Oh, damn.
Well
Like,
performed, sir.
what is happening?
So, Mackenzie,
Yeah, you did good
here's the
on that,
thing.
Stormy. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. I don't think Molly isn't someone to be trusted, and I don't think she isn't innocent in the way that we've been perceiving her, because you
Mhm.
don't get that innocent without trauma.
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I've been trying to represent with her too, is like
Mhm.
the freedom of like being able to express herself and like actually experience true
Mhm.
joy for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just adorable and I love her.
So
Mhm.
now, questions abound here. Are we when we finally see all of Molly in her like normal, non-disguised form, are we going to change our background, or are we going to keep it the same?
I think I'm gonna keep it the same just because I
Mhm.
haven't like dug into the antenna part of it.
Mm.
Mhm.
So I'll tell you Molly's development because I think this is just kind of fun how it happened. This was the original sketch of Molly. This has been her since day one. And when
Mhm.
I made Molly, I had a really hard time because I felt like I was playing her as just a ditz and I didn't really have any meaning to her, because I couldn't
Mhm.
really figure out who Molly was. And then
Yeah.
I was talking with Jay. I'm like, well, what if it was something like this? And him and I talked it through and we came up with like, an actual reason for Molly's excitement. And that's just made me fall in
Mhm.
love with her so much more. And
Mhm.
Oh,
so,
yes.
I think it's
yeah,
around the beginning of April when when Mike made the comment of haha,
Someone's
one
a
of you a yokai. Or no,
yokai.
yep,
I made a joke
Sure.
of is
yep,
someone a yokai? And Mike was like, "You're
Mhm.
the one I'm most suspicious of."
yeah, yep. I remember that because it was like
Uh-huh.
the week before, like the session after Jay and I had talked about like, hey, let's make Molly yokai.
Oh,
And then
Mhm.
it was
That
like,
that brought
and then
up.
that
Wow.
happened the next session. I'm like,
like I
Yeah.
wasn't.
So
You couldn't have done this a week
Mm.
ago.
yeah. So now we're doing backstory revelations abound. I think the only
Mhm.
one left on the hit list is Tanamichi now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
only one left that's still got secrets.
Well, I'm
Mhm.
sure Four still has secrets, but we just
Blew a
finally
lot of them
got a
up.
little bit of anything
Literally.
beyond I'm in this clan.
Uh-huh.
Word choice. Well, no,
God, oh my God.
that
I'll be
event
right back.
caused the rest of the secrets for
Mhm,
four.
yes.
Mhm.
So
Because
the explosion at the lab and Molly's massive fuck up triggered the rest of Four's backstory.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I love
So
that so much.
yeah,
I
so I
love
love
that.
it. I think I'm really happy that
Mhm.
we did
he
that.
was just like an assistant professor at an academy for like steam golems, and it was all going fine. They were making
love
some
that.
steam golems. He was using the money to pay
I
for
love that so
schooling,
Sorry, I'm just
and
picturing
Oh.
golems, except that they have like metal steam vents that pop open, and it's just like, wee.
yeah,
Mhm.
basically,
Mhm.
except for like war golems.
It's
Um,
still you can have
Yeah.
a wonderful
and
musical entry with it. It's fine.
that was his
Mhm.
job, and he was paying for school or schooling for orphans,
Oh,
and
uh-oh.
he lost his job
Jesus.
because
Because
Molly
of the
blew up
explosion.
the thing he was working on, and he got
Oh my
blamed for
God.
it. So now he has to earn an income in a different way when the only thing he knows is steam
Being a
golem.
secret
Mhm.
multidimensional spy assassin.
Yeah.
Because clearly botanist and professor mean assassins.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Clearly this is the
Yeah.
logical
Yeah,
way
well,
to go.
it was the
That's
ninja
why-
assassin clan that took Molly in to like finish
That
her
makes
off
sense.
and then realized she was
Mhm.
different. Like, hey, we could like use your skills and went
Actually,
with it that
yeah.
way.
I
And
mean,
so this
Mhm.
was Molly's
yeah.
original like character design. And so Jay said there's always some reason that you can figure out someone is a yokai. There's some sort of physical trait that sets them
Mhm.
apart. And so that's why I went with the antennas hidden in the space buns,
Love that so
is
much.
because
Yeah.
it played off of her original character, but yet
Mhm.
still did something like yokai-y. Because
And I
like the
love that it's
antennas, yeah, the
yeah, I
antennas
love that
help
it's
her identify
antenna.
plants and pollens
Yeah,
and
because
yeah.
it's bugs and
You're a
plants
pollinator.
and botany.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love that so much.
So I just love like now the new depth to Molly. Like once I found out
Mhm.
like her her,
like what
it's
her
just
yeah.
like I've just fallen so much in love with her. She's
Please
so
tell me
just
I'm
a
beautiful.
not the
happy
only
bee.
one that heard the horrible joke that Mike made.
Oh, I missed it.
No, please
You
don't
are
say
the
it
only
again.
one,
No,
Wait,
say it.
pardon?
No,
apparently.
please don't say it again.
So Stormy and I both heard it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
I'm gonna go take a break real quick, and then we can
Okay.
come
Oh,
back.
did you
and-
hold on? I have to put
Mm.
this in what
Mm.
Becky said in the chat. So now Rena has a yokai,
Yes.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
now attached to her, like because you
Mhm.
claimed her.
Mhm.
So this is gonna be really
Yeah.
exciting.
Oh, boy.
I'm
But
very
of all the
excited about it.
people to blatantly say the illegal thing out loud,
Mhm.
the interdimensional crime boss's daughter is gonna be the one to do it.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
so valid.
Like,
That's
and
what
everybody
she's a queen
knows
for
that
it.
she's
Claiming
an
asset?
internet,
No.
like,
Mm-mm.
interdimensional
Hey, Rena!
crime boss's
Hey,
daughter.
girl.
Yeah.
Gonna,
Like,
nope.
you're mine. Okay.
The obviously
gonna-
evil one.
Yes.
Hoshi don't do that. Hoshi did her best to channel her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if she succeeded in channeling her mother, but that's what
You
she
got
was
us.
like, I'm going
You
to.
got us to the point where we didn't have to use violence, and then Arena finished it because Tanamichi was just hiding in the shadows, ready to like fuck shit up.
Like holding the little egg, like I'm about to go.
Yeah.
I was
Uh-huh.
still looking at the ship.
Also, I think
course.
True love of
Stormy
Floor's life.
I think Stormy and I like canonically decided that he actually like took a knife and like cut it out of my shoulder, didn't you? Like the tracker.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
is kind of like petty vengeance
This is
to start
great.
with.
What?
No,
Plug your-
Honestly, before the yokai revelation even came up, Kai had already been plotting the idea of like pop that tracker out somehow or another.
Yeah.
The question is when to dispose of it and where.
Yep.
Because
Not
if
outside the city limits.
Mm.
oh, not even that, because the goal for this, at least in Kai's mind, is who can we sick these people on
Mhm. Mhm.
that would distract them long enough
Well,
for
so that
us to
we
to
can
get
get the
it get away.
fuck.
So if
Yeah.
Hoshi's family has any enemies in the city, like the armed guards have a barracks nearby, it might not be the worst thing in the world to have a skirmish between two factions that we both happen to have a beef with.
So we haven't done the during break
Commercials.
commercials. I think Mike, the one you put in Discord, you should
Oh,
definitely
yes.
share with the chat. I think it's a very
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh yes. This week, Molly Maxey stars in Your Favorite Yokai, airing Sundays on ABC.
Yes.
Wait, no, airing Sundays on the Buzz.
That sounds like a radio station.
It is a radio station.
Mhm.
I'm
You're
just
so
it's
offended. You're
it-
like, it is.
it-
What are you?
Yeah.
it's a play on the My Favorite Martian TV show, and then the 90s follow-up movie with Christopher Lloyd.
I'm too young for
Yeah.
that.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna get a snack
Oh.
quick.
Ew.
Ugh.
I'm so
Oh,
lonely.
man.
See, now
I know what you're talking about,
I'm
Mike.
wondering if you guys are actually just very close in age, and it's just the mental maturity that is different here.
Ouch.
How old are you?
Wow.
I don't know.
What year were you born, doofus?
I'm getting out a calculator 1 second.
To figure out what year you were born?
Yes.
So do you
That's
know
not in
your
a
age
calendar,
but
that's-
not the year, or do you know the year and not
That's
the
not a
age?
calculator. That's a
I know
calendar.
I know the current year and the year I was born.
Okay, so yeah, so
Wait,
what
then
year
we
were
know
you
what-
born?
Yeah. Yep.
What?
What's the what's the issue here?
What year were you?
We are still
born
on the internet,
in?
so if he
You
does
wanna
not
put it
want
in
to say
Discord
what
and
year
not
he was
say it out
born
loud,
in.
that's fair, but
Okay. Okay, you can type this. That's fine.
Oh no, I'll just leave it a mystery. You can feel free to guess.
Cool.
I will say yes or no to whatever you guess.
But pre 1990.
No.
So I am older than you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo! Fun game.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure the youngest one here.
Pre-2000?
I'm older than 2000.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. We're playing hot or cold with years now. It's gonna be a. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I got about
As I've been muted this entire time. Yeah, that's fine.
Hello there. We're thinking of how to get vengeance.
Ah, like as in vengeance for you for your lab.
Yes, absolutely.
Using like vengeancing as Molly or the people that sent Molly.
Oh, that's a great question.
What's a great question now?
Don't worry about it.
Boot it? What are you, Canadian, eh?
Oh my
No.
god. You really did oot us.
What?
You ooted us.
I don't get it.
That's a huge, massive like Canada cliche. Is it's the saying a boot.
A boot.
A boot.
About.
Would have boot it.
Don't worry about it, dude.
No,
Good,
now
how
you're
are you
Swedish
now?
chef.
I changed how I'm sitting in my chair. This is probably going to change in a few minutes, but I didn't want to fully sit.
I mean, it's a good plan not to do the full sit.
I've been fully sitting a lot today, so
Mm.
the back of my chair is here, and I'm just like leaned over.
See, this is why you have to do your games on a sofa, because you can Goldblum it the whole way.
Okay, but then I'd be doing it from over there, and the computer would still be here.
Just use your whole diaphragm to speak. It's fine.
Oh,
Oh, that isn't the problem.
What's the problem?
My character sheet, the
Oh,
camera,
just memorize it all. You'll be fine.
all mm-mm.
Just tilt the camera. It'll be fine. Woman, I'm trying to help you.
Are you?
Yes.
Am I hearing that Heather needs upgrades?
Not in camera qualities or anything, but in terms of
Slightly sword, no.
seated in
Don't
front of the
say it
desk.
again.
Now I'm just like twisting myself. Wee.
Bendy, bendy.
Wee.
Oh, excuse me.
Mhm.
I'll sit normally in a minute.
So, how was the bribe, Jay? Did it work?
No. I mean, you can keep trying if you want. I'm not going to try and stop you, but you can't buy me.
That means I'm not trying hard enough.
Sure, if that's how you want to interpret that.
Oh,
I even sent meat tubes home with Amber.
For the
Meat.
cat. You said the
Meat
meat tubes for the
tubes.
cat. Like,
you phrased it
I
as
did
meat
not directly
tubes.
benefit.
and
They
then
are
like
meat
the
tubes.
liquid treats?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
okay. That would be like kitty Go-Gurt, not meat.
It is. Yes, it's protein Go-Gurt. So just Go-Gurt.
That is not so.
We call them
That-
Go-Gurts for our cats too.
Amber is
Meat
the one who
tubes.
keeps calling them meat tubes.
Because they are meat tubes. They are tubes of meat.
So what I'm hearing is Jay can't be bought, but can Amber be bought?
Yes, so easy.
No.
Amber is eminently
No.
bribable.
No, she's not at all. It's
I
it's
like
way
that.
harder.
I was gonna
Absolutely
say,
not.
what are you talking about now?
Yeah.
Can Amber get Jay to do what he wants?
Mm.
More likely than the rest of us, but
I-
still not 100% guaranteed.
Like, look,
Yeah, but
Amber
Amber
sees the world
tries.
of gray and I don't, but that doesn't mean she's any more morally flexible than I am.
But
Yeah.
Amber tries to bribe me to put in time in my timesheet, like I'm supposed to. It doesn't work.
Hey, Tanamichi in Discord, we're trying to figure out who is the most junior.
Oh,
So this is not a you need to share your age on the internet, but
This is well.
well, I mean it is on the internet, but not public
yeah,
on the internet.
Yeah. Well, not public in the okay.
Mhm.
I think you're still safe. I think Molly's
Okay.
got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not mentally. That's still me. but
Well,
maturity.
I mean, you've heard the conversations
exactly,
we have
maturity.
here.
Oh, damn.
To
I
be
mean,
fair, only by a couple months though. Not by like
Hmm.
a significant amount.
You don't know when I was
It's
born.
fine. Becky can be a
You
month
put your
older than me
year.
and thought to be my daughter. Age is all relative.
It's the same year.
Yeah, but you don't know what month.
I said within a couple months at least.
Oh.
Less than 12.
Well, if it's September and they already are that age, it's within at least
Again,
what,
within at
9
least
months, within 10 months.
Oh, yeah, it being month
Mhm.
5 does not give there a whole lot of patience.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, given
Again.
the kind of conversations we've had in this game, I don't think honestly that even maturity wise you can really claim to be the youngest here because we've said some really, really juvenile stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the oldest 3 of this chat have definitely made some comments.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I'm not the one who came up with cube gag.
True.
Gonna be our first plushie woo.
Again.
What we need to do is ask Rinker if that's the kind of thing they would buy.
Yes.
Like,
Please God, no.
I just did. They're here on the live
I don't
stream.
want
So
an
Hoshi is going to lead us around the side. To
Like, what do
the
you think I am? Some sort of super villain? I'm not gonna tell you anything before I do it. You can't stop me. I've already done it.
Oh my god, you actually named the episode Raar.
I sure did.
Oh my god, I love it.
Jesus.
Rawr.
Right.
I still feel like it's apropos, even beyond just the singular impulsive thought.
What?
One
The
part of that
episode being
required
named
further
Raar?
clarification. Right. Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
this still works even beyond just your singular impulsive thought to say it.
Oh,
Hmm.
why did
Well,
I
My
just say
life's
it?
greatest moments were led by single impulsive thoughts.
Let's
Again,
just-
intrusive thought 1.
I do want to make this difference clear. Impulsive thought is I should just do a thing. Intrusive thought is this very dangerous, very bad, very morally questionable. Do it right now. Wait, whoa, I don't actually want to. That's intrusive. Impulsive is the what if I booped them on the nose? Boop, oop, that was a tiger. You know,
Okay.
a little different.
True. Well, I mean, if it was a tiger, that still falls into
Raar.
intrusive,
Impulsive, it's
depending
fine.
on
I'm booping
where
I'm
you
booping
are.
the snoot,
We just-
putting
We
my
just have to-
head in the tiger's mouth.
We just have to promise to not go back to like 2015 where like Raar means I love you in dinosaur. Like, can we just like leave that?
Well,
Yeah.
Casey
Yeah.
was pushing
I
back
will
with
try
that
and
statement.
give-
Actually, no, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
that's a pre-pandemic trend.
Now
There we
you've
go,
resurrected
words.
it live on the internet.
Yep.
Yes.
Poor choice.
Yeah, you have to remember that everything's on 20-year cycles, or usually,
Oh, no.
culturally speaking. So it'll
Right,
come
time
back
is a
around.
flat circle.
In
So
about 10
everybody's
years.
always
It's the
10 years
game,
behind, so
right?
everything actually
Right.
takes place
Oh.
for 30 years.
Wait, does
the
that
year-
mean crazy bands are going around again?
Yeah, it's the year 2006. Oblivion is selling like hotcakes, and bands like Simple
Mhm.
Plan or Bowling for Soup are touring together
Yes.
in the UK. It's the year 2025. Oblivion is selling like hotcakes, and bands like Simple Plan or Bowling for Soup are touring together in the UK. Like time is a
Mhm.
flat circle.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Time is a weird soup.
Hoshi will grab Molly's hand and run around to the
What the crab apples?
the servant's entrance and
Oh, you said servant entrance. I thought you said
yes.
service entrance. I was picturing like a big freight door.
no servant entrance back door.
Like a
We
little
were just-
employee, like the employee door where you have to use like an RFID card to get in.
Yeah,
or
The
whatever.
employee door and the back staircase, because no, they don't get an elevator, even though they really should.
It's
Kinda
the
door.
poor door.
The ferret.
Oh
would
no,
go through.
classism is a thing. Hoshi is going to go up to that door though, and it's not an ID tag. It's a verbal passcode that she's gonna.
Sorry, you got to speak up. I didn't hear that.
Yep, good. And then it'll be like, and go inside, and all the way to the top. Go now. Everyone.
Would everybody make a stealth roll as to sneak past the guards to said entrance and into the building?
Not very good.
Well,
I say guards. I mean military presence. If the tower has guards, they probably know who you are and don't have a problem with it.
This is gonna be interesting.
That
If you
entirely
have
depends
some
on the
sort of-
individuals if they decide to employ them or not.
I see.
Oh, okay.
If you have some sort of ability that would get you extra, you know, smoke pellets or stealth or whatever, I'd go for that. And I cannot stress this enough that now would be a great time for you to use your Inyo if you end up a die short.
4. How many do we need?
4.
Okay, good.
I rolled 2 dice and failed both.
I rolled my singular die and I got a success.
Did
Are we
that
doing
explode into 4
Group,
more?
or are we doing
No,
individual?
I had
You're
one.
traveling as a team, yes?
Okay.
I rolled 1 dice and
5.
had 5.
3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 4.
Awesome. That's 4 there.
I
4
had
from
a
Hoshi,
6 and
4
a
from Timmy.
5, but then a 2 and a 1.
Oh no. Molly, it's up to you, I guess.
Tanamichi, what did you get?
Oh, I already said that I failed.
Oh,
what
no!
Did, no, what,
Yeah.
Tanamichi,
I got
what did you get?
5.
I
I
missed
got 5
that.
successes.
Yeah,
I rolled a
so
6 and 3 4s and
so
2
Hoshi,
3s.
Mike, and Hoshi Kai. I keep wanting to flop your names tonight. I'm so sorry.
Hoshi, Kai, and
Hoshi
Tanamichi, which is
Kai and
half the team.
Hanamichi passed, and then Rena, Molly, and 4 did not.
Right, which is not more than half. Right. It's close, but it's not more than half.
But you love us. And we're being sneaky.
So as you pass the guards, I don't know if one of you trips and falls or kicks a bit of rubble in the alley or whatever.
I'll take the fall and I'll say Molly tripped because that's just very in character. Especially with the emotional trauma that she had to relive. She's just a little on edge right now.
So guns spin and just this time different guards, not the ones you saw on the ramp. I want to make sure I say this correctly.
Are we sure we can't burn it in here?
No,
if you're short 1 die, go for it.
Yeah, but both 4 and Molly do not have enough dice.
Yeah, and also Jay has my Inyo right now.
They say you're under arrest. Surrender and die, and they just shoot at you. Which is to say, feel free to make what's the word I'm looking for? How do we do this? We don't do combat every day. Do you have armor for this? I don't remember how this works. Just had a total brain fart. Combat. I'm pretty sure it's a comparative roll because it's a Talsorian system, and that's what they do. Give me 1 second. Apologies. Hazards.
Okay.
Conditions. Combat. Here we go.
Also, I love Jay Rinker's comment.
Uh-oh.
Right. So all of you make athletics rolls against their marksmanship rolls. That's
You say athletics.
I did.
I'm not good at. I only have 1 dice.
You need to get more
Shit,
dice
I have
than
2
body.
dice.
I used it in other places.
On athletics, I only have 2.
I got a 6 and a 5. At least she did something right today.
Athletics.
3 4s and a 5.
So, how many successes do we need to clear this?
Because I rolled 10 dice and rolled very, very poorly, I cannot believe I'm going to say this. You only need 3. Excuse me.
4.
You only need 1 because I rolled 2 1s.
1.
Hey,
I can't believe I'm going to say it.
I got 1 success.
Same. Oh god. Tadamichi's
successes.
stealthy. He's not armored.
What
I
does
am neither
Hoshi know
stealthy nor
about
armored.
the
I
military?
cannot believe
like,
I rolled 10 dice and shot everything except you.
when
Wow.
they are saying like you are under arrest, you know,
Surrender and die.
Does
You
she
bet.
know?
Surrender and die.
Yeah,
I want to
But-
stress I did not say surrender or die.
Or die. Just surrender and die.
Does she know what normally could be done in this, like, is this a bribe situation? Is this a talk your way out because of power situation? Is this a If we run in the building, are they going to come in the building after us? Is this like what's the
vibe?
They didn't really give us a chance to talk, so I would
no.
I would
I know
assume that that's
but
out.
But I want to know, like, in terms of her next move.
So if these are the same sort of soldiers from the dock, and it looks like they are, they're asset hunters. If they've resorted to, Mina probably knows this, if they resorted to power drain, the power hasn't been knocked out or anything. They're consuming it. Like they're causing a rolling blackout by walking through that district of the town. Lots of yokai experience accumulate their powers and function normally through acclimation to the energy in the area, like the Tom you met earlier. So if they can fuck up the standing area energy in the area, yokai will be easier to find because they'll start making noise, or their skin will blister, or they'll shed whatever their fake form is. It's a way of like ripping their camouflage from them. Good news, Molly hasn't been here long enough to acclimate one way or the other. So it's not going to have any effect on her. Which means that they're not hunting you, actually. They're hunting someone else. You just happen to get close enough to set up their beeper. I assume that at some point during the break, somebody fished that thing out of your arm, yeah?
Yeah, we talked about
I ripped it out.
Or did it.
Aggressively.
I'm going to assume that this was points of damage inflicted.
Did anybody get no successes?
No.
No, I meant like in terms of like the physically carving a thing out of
her
arm.
Yeah, it's a subdermal. That's a gash. You've taken 2 points of damage. It's a pretty considerable cut in the arm. But nothing you won't heal from given enough time in Bactine. I'm sorry, Space Bactine.
Make sure that all of us are inside. Close the door.
To answer your question, the asset retrievers are not known for being social. You would have to do what Rena did. You would essentially have to say, while I don't technically politically outrank you in that goes normal people, rich normal people, poor political people, wealthy political people. The asset hunters are over here. They're kind of outside the system. Part of being an asset hunter means, much like your job, that you sort of operate outside the system. But that doesn't mean that a wealthy socialite can't be like, hey, back the fuck up. But it does mean that doing that
is not the asset that they're looking for, then us claiming Molly would
will do you no good.
Out her and not help.
Correct.
So when
it'll
we
make
get
her
inside,
situation worse. Right.
It's going to be
this isn't the yokai you're looking for.
Run up the stairs. And I'm going to be while running, because we're all in great physical shape. We do lots of running, lots of training. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is why you run the bleachers. She's gonna kind of give that heads up of like, if we can find out who the asset is, maybe we can pull the same thing. But don't just immediately claim her. Don't like, hey, be aware if your form does start fucking up. All of that as we run up the 10 stories. I am so sorry. Because we are
probably smarter than if you were taking the elevator, you'd find it didn't work.
Yeah, we are going to the penthouse.
Even if the elevator doesn't work, that doesn't mean anything to Kai. I would just like
power
grab your way up.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like climb the service shaft.
Like,
Mackenzie, your lights on your head are like giving me like this is it's like so antennas are lighting up right now.
It's like it's trying. There we go. You can kind of see
accidental foreshadowing.
I'll say, of all the headphones with ears I've ever seen, right? Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to come out.
I didn't even think of that.
Yours are the
love
best.
That.
So
yeah, they were a gift from my fiance, and I'm obsessed with them because they're super cute.
I love them.
Mackenzie, at some point you should send a picture of your whole setup to the chat so everybody can see just the abundance of pink that is your tech goodie bag. It's adorable.
Yeah, when I clean my desk. Oh wait, I sent it.
Hoshi's gonna run ahead. And the top of the stairs. So every floor has a door same as the outside. So even if you snuck in with one, you would then have to have that same person let you into the next because it's the same setup. And it is not electricity powered.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like they have backup generator things or little things that are not electricity, but it's more like stored solar power or whatever.
Sure.
Which doesn't mean it's gonna last as long. But it's gonna be, if we knocked out the electricity of the building, open the door. No.
Maybe if we had this kind of security at my lab, it wouldn't have exploded.
Just oh, that's cute.
To the
Or-
ongoing things from
Or
this
if
point
it
on
hadn't
for 4.
exploded, you would have never met Molly, and we wouldn't be on this great adventure together.
So
Oh, that would have
Well,
been
we
so
didn't
much
meet at the
better.
time.
so we're gonna
I just fucked it up and left.
run up the steps, and at the top stairs, she's gonna have y'all pause because this is where do have to exit into the hallway. So before we all exit into the hallway,
Family meeting.
gonna make sure there's nobody waiting for us in the hallway.
You bet. As the guards have not made it into the building yet, if you have any servants, they'll be here. But you won't find any like, how do I put this? Unknown participants in the use of the building.
Yeah. We do, and we have like a fully staffed house, but nobody beyond my parents each having their own essentially secretary, just because there's so much they have to do. There's no like, this is your personal maidservant that helps you. No, like it is, we have a cook, we have a maid, we have a bellhop, we have like that type of, or not bellhop, doorman. We have that type of setup for like guests and hospitality and keeping a clean place. But you were actually expected to know how to care for yourself and be independent on that. Which was something that her mom was very adamant on. Of you need to know how to use all of this and weaponize all of this. Oldest child, not you, Pat. You need to know, but like I'm not gonna actually fully teach you the things. It's fine. But also, if this goes away, you still need to be able to function. There was that level of like teaching. What Hoshi didn't really get was here's how politics fully work. Here I'm going to actually train you in a skill. That's the level of training that just didn't happen until they're like, yes, you're gonna go here. And then she did the training for the agency. So it's very like, yes, be a good independent person with no brain thought or marketable skills. Have fun. So she's gonna open the door and look out and see, her family's normal doorman.
Who I imagine would recognize you, yes?
Yep, and she's gonna go, are my parents in?
No.
Okay.
They are on business across town.
Oh, okay. Cool. I have some friends.
Would they like refreshments?
They would love refreshments and also potentially a snack, if that could be possible.
Molly goes up and kind of tugs on Hoshi's like sleeve and just goes, I had a really long day. Can I please have some chocolate cake?
Chocolate cake would be amazing. I'm sure there are some pastries that are just already on the counter. Please, everyone, come in this way. And then, as you know,
while he won't speak to them, comes with the job. It's definitely the job and not like a sign of disrespect.
Yep.
Quite the contrary, actually, to speak to them would be to disrespect you, and he's not going to do that.
She will,
which is to say, he'll ask several questions about how to treat them well, but then actually talking to them. Like, do they have dietary restrictions?
She will give her best, like, yep, and here's what I am aware, and remind me of that. Yes, for sure. And then after everyone is inside, ushered inside, she's just gonna give him a very, very grateful smile. Thank you. And then go inside. Heather has not come up with their names. Hoshi does know their names. And actually, probably did anytime her parents couldn't find her. She probably was with one of them, hanging out and talking and distracting them from their job, and
I was
for
Really
thinking
sweet.
something posh like Reginald.
Prob- yeah.
Edgar.
Edgar. Yeah.
No, because that has other. There was an Edgar in another campaign that was a secret assassin bodyguard person. So
Aha.
her
It
sounds
servants aren't
perfect.
that cool to her awareness. Now they all could be, and she has no knowledge. The inside of the penthouse. Oh gosh, I gotta see if I can find the.
How big is your penthouse? Are there like how many people could stay there in a night? How many beds are there?
I'd say there's probably 5 bedrooms.
Okay.
Because it would be parents, sister, her, guests. And then
I love that the parents each get separate bedrooms because
no,
they're rich.
no. Parents are one.
Oh,
Sister is one.
Oh.
Hers is one, and then there's 2 guest rooms.
okay.
I need a strong beer
And
after finding out.
if necessary, if there were more guests staying, she and her sister could have either stayed together, or if there were really a ton, they would get nice pallets, but pallets on her parents' floor if we had a bunch of people that we needed staying over. Because part of your hostess responsibilities is making sure that they get good sleep.
Giving them pallets.
No, like we would get the pallets, they would get the beds.
Right.
Which did actually mean that if people were coming over, your bedroom did have to be picked up.
So as the food and refreshments, that sort of thing are provided, the power goes out.
Yep.
And you hear your attendant
Oh
go,
no.
"Oh, my apologies for the frustration. I'll see what I can do. Perhaps it's on the fritz again." And he'll head out into the hallway.
He's not coming back. Okay. Let's bar the doors.
Oh,
You are high enough up. You are high enough up that it is possible that he didn't know that the city below you is in a power outage state.
Oh, no, we have wonderful windows. You can see.
Well, sure.
In fact, this is what I'm gonna try.
I meant more like his between the height and his constant job, he might, not be in a position.
Oh, that's fair.
To yeah.
I'm going to post the inspiration pictures.
Ooh.
So that y'all can get kind of.
Look at all of that dirt.
Oh. Molly is very excited when she walks in and sees all the plants.
Plants are well cared for. This is the hallway. For the audience who's not getting this, it is very Richie Art Deco skyscraper with indoor plant life. There is an upstairs which goes to the bedrooms, which I'm working on. Yes, very nice, very clean, very well put together.
I do just want to note that finding out that you live here, as much as as much as Kai has a newfound respect for Hoshi just from living on Earth, this place is being treated with. You will notice like the sneer of contempt.
Oh, she has one too. Yeah, I come in and it is, she gestures and just my mother would never ask you to take your shoes off, but again, try not to track any dirt.
Dirt, blood, viscera.
Yeah. If any of you do need to clean up or anything, we have a guest room and guest shower if you guys would actually like to do that, because we haven't really had a break. If there is any specific snack or drink or anything, if they have the ingredients for it in-house, they can make it for us. I honestly just want a really good lemonade. I just want Buh, it's fine. Yeah. Oh, welcome.
Molly sees that Hoshi is just kind of in her feels right now, and she just goes up and like puts her head on Hoshi's shoulder and then wraps her arms like around her stomach and kind of like a not a full on like bear hug, but in like
Yeah.
a like I feel
Yeah.
you
Hoshi
like
kind of
snuggle.
Hoshi kind of just honestly, the two people that I wanted to see the least are the ones that are not here, which is nice, but damn, I didn't think I'd have to come back here.
Oh, come on.
You'll hear the attendant come back through the door and go,
Mhm.
apologies. The breaker is not blown. It appears we are experiencing a power outage from some sort of external factor.
Is there any way of reaching my parents right now?
Unfortunately, no. They are indisposed for a business meeting. I have strict instructions to not interrupt for any reason other than your immediate physical harm.
Great. In that case, can we go ahead and activate the security measures for the penthouse?
Of course.
That can only be overridden by my parents' codes delivered by them.
You
And
understand this
that is
means
a
you'll be
specific setting is who is allowed to break
sure.
this.
You understand that means you'll be stuck in here for several days.
Unless they get back sooner.
Okay. And he'll push the button. I assume that means some sort of lockdown, like windows and doors and such.
Oh yeah.
You bet.
Days.
So you go from being you go from being in an apartment to being in the Technodrome in less time than it takes to say it. That
How much beer
I'm
can we put
sorry,
in here?
Stormy. I forget that you're super young. The Technodrome is a giant metal sphere that the TMNT villains used to live inside of that could survive nuclear blasts.
So Hoshi will actually
The
message
who?
for
Exactly.
and
It's
go,
okay.
this is very top-notch security. They are the only ones that can break it from the outside. We can exit if we break it, if we say we are leaving. But the only ones that can gain entrance are my parents.
Oh, come on. I mean, there's just plenty of ways to get in and out of this building.
Yes, but not this room.
Not this floor. Or not even this floor, not this apartment.
Does this apartment still have running water and air supply?
Recycled air, running water, has a reservoir.
Stormy, you should know
Sewage?
that my bribe is gone now.
Yeah,
So-
but you already tried to shoot us and failed.
Yeah.
Hey, that was the plot. That wasn't a bribe-related shot. Also, I can't believe I rolled 10 dice.
Hoshi is going to
that up.
there are clearly, if you look for it, little bells or like, buzzer icon, she ain't doing that. She walks to the kitchen, knock knock. Can I get some lemonade, and if we are still here, some chocolate cake would be wonderful, as well as your amazing little fruit, almost fruit quiches. I never know what to call them, but they're so delicious. Hi.
I know what you mean. And the person working there knows you previously, of course, and has perhaps unprofessionally pointed out in the past that they appreciate and kind of enjoy when you
But I'm breaking
interrupt them
protocol.
while
I'm
they're
not
doing
doing it
their
the right
job.
way.
So they suggest that they could use help when you know they don't. Like,
yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of us currently. Any other little treats that, my parents asked for and didn't finish within the last day or so that you otherwise would need to take home or throw out? And by take home, it's not generous. It's like the little, like, by the time it gets home, it's squashed and crumbled, and it's not like it's not actually
they
going to
provide
travel well.
a tray of danishes that look pretty great.
Anything like that would be wonderful.
Given the relatively small scale of the city you're in relative to the size of the whole planet that is overrun by monsters, how do I put this? Objects and foodstuffs that come from animals that require a lot of horizontal space are something of a premium, because horizontal space is something of a premium. So
Everything she's
baked
asking
goods,
for is-
cheese, that sort of thing. Because cheese comes, at least some cheese comes from cows, and cows need a lot of horizontal space.
There's a
And
lot of goat cheese here.
There's a lot of goat cheese, right?
Yep.
They need a lot less, exactly.
And a lot of fruit and veggie based
Right.
things and
However,
protein.
your parents are, the upper crust of society, and therefore we don't do goat cheese if we can help it. Not independent of whether or not we like goat cheese better. The social status of cow cheese is bigger and better because there are just not that many farms to go around, and they're producing stuff all the time. So it's not everybody gets cow cheese. It's the people who can afford it get cow cheese. Which is to say, it's entirely possible that no one in this room, other than you and perhaps Rena, has ever had a Danish made with cow cheese before. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna come back in. And there is, so like in there's like the open, like the entry foyer where you, foyer, yeah, that you walk into, and you go past the staircases that do go up, and then she's gonna lead you guys into like a side living room area, and go, this is for close friends and family. So even if we weren't doing lockdown, and even if they did have guests, they wouldn't immediately walk in on us in here. And there is a lot of very comfortable, like a little bit shabbier, a little bit more well-worn, a little bit more lived in furniture in here. There's a fireplace to the side. And Hoshi goes to a basically giant overstuffed armchair that's in the back corner of this room. This is kind of a mix between a little living room and library. Like it's not a ton of books, the library separate. And I don't mean separate in the apartment. I mean separate in like another place. This is the family's collection of books. She's going to go to the back chair, kick her shoes off, and actually like sit, attempting to relax, but like legs up, probably again like the least like hello, I am here, and more like and just like sink like this into the chair that she fits perfectly into and everything. They're gonna bring us food and drink, and hopefully we can hash out a next step of the plan. Also, while we are in lockdown, there's more external recording than there is internal recording. I just realized you can't fully see me, like she's doing this on the.
I was gonna say, yeah, you kind of like disappeared from the frame.
But it's just she's like actually like slowly drifting off already. Just I don't know the last time we had a long rest, and she's just like, but
before we got to refuge.
Yeah. But if there are
the system doesn't have exhaustion ranks, but if it did, you'd be dragging ass right now.
Now, the good news is that for everyone who is curious, I did check in the rules. You do regain 3 vitality points at the start of a day.
Yep.
I do need to inquire though about what we need to do to regain ki.
You need a long rest
in
a safe place.
Okay.
So Hoshi will, like, as she's falling asleep, just like, if you need anything, you can ask the staff. They're very nice. Upstairs are guest rooms. The back room is my, like, end of the hallway, big last room is parents' room. The one with the sign on the door is my sister's. All the others are. She's gonna go to sleep.
Before Hoshi nods off, Kai is gonna ask, where can I go for a spare set of clothes?
Guest rooms or access rooms.
So any number of the attendants within the building will be happy to point you towards various closets with clothing, is that they are categorized not by traditional gender preferences, but more like forms of dress: business casual, not business casual, hoodie and jeans, whatever, white tie, black tie.
There is also
I
always
stress that Hoshi comes from a house where there's a white tie closet. How cool is that?
there is
Life of
there is
opulence.
also every, I would say, 6 months the clothes are gone through, and anything that is not, the argument is it's deemed less than perfect. The actual thing is, this is our way of being able to actually say that we're donating these and not it's a bribe, or like we're getting rid of them anyway. That then get donated either to specific families. The servants can take them home, can, you know, and this is where like some of the nicer clothing does happen, you know, get around the town, but you didn't get the whole outfit necessarily.
Right.
That's why it's the coordination that really shows it. But so if any of you want things that are not in the closets and are maybe slightly more rundown, or you want to do like piecemeal or whatever, there is always a getting ready to go out the door bunch of those clothes that are clean and pressed and whatever. If any of you would like things that are, you know, slightly not fresh in the closet.
Less than fresh.
There are showers, there are like in the idea that in my brain right now is if we want a long rest, we have a safe place to do so now. Everything can get re-upped now, and then Jay's gonna drop 1,000 more bombs on us. What, Becky?
Quick interjection.
Yes.
Jay, we
Yes.
have a viewer who is asking some questions about
the system. I see that.
Yes. So if we could do a brief synopsis of what it is that we are
You bet.
playing.
Yes, it is not homebrew. It's Shadow Scar, which right now is only available as a quick start, which is this box. But I understand will be ready for Gen Con, given the Talsorian family never says that ever. I would take that to the bank. They're usually very good, very, very fussy about saying things like it'll be ready when it's ready. You might know them as the people who made the Witcher system, or if you're played some older stuff, the Cyberpunk system, or further than that, the Mechton system, or something off the secret menu, the Castle Falkenstein system, which uses a deck of cards, which is kind of neat. Anyway,
very fun.
Yeah, good times. Yeah. But yes, with as far as them being like spy ninjas, yes.
Yes.
It's not a homebrew system in that it's got a fancy book and all that, but it did start as a homebrew concept, as I understand. It was, hey, let's make Naruto, and then it spiraled out of control.
Sounds about
and
right.
it's so much fun, actually. Like it's so much fun.
My favorite part of the
learning
book
the
is
hand signs.
I was just gonna say there are actual Naruto hand signs in the book, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah, I love playing the system. It's really easy to understand, especially with like the dice rolls.
Yeah,
and it's great.
If you're familiar with Talsorian systems to begin with, and you find them a bit crunchy, I can't say I blame you. This one is significantly leaner than they usually are. For good, better or worse.
So, while Hoshi is sleeping, in terms of any of the plants and gardens, any information beyond that's what Mr. Sora does, the servants really don't know, because that is actually his pet project. So if Molly's like, what's this plant? What's this? And what's this? There might be I heard him mention this thing one time, but that's actually what her dad like spends his spare time doing. In the main living room, that's like for the more like, oh yes, come in, we are having, is a very nice chess set, a very nice checker set, a couple other gifted games that have not been opened probably, but they're on display because they were a gift. And technology-wise, same thing for 4. Any questions you have about the technology?
He's just drinking.
That's gonna be mom's specialty, actually. She's the one that designed the safety system and everything. With very good friends of hers, but that was her. So we know how to use it. We don't know what's in it. But yeah, anyone that would like, unless Jay decides to do something dastardly on us while we are in this.
The dastardly thing I'm gonna do is not end on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
Whoa.
Huh?
Yeah, so
It's
anyone
okay,
that would
they
like a
they
shower,
deserve this.
anyone that would like fresh clothing, any of the snacks, Hoshi gets a full sleep, wakes up very groggy, and then like goes
Oh, I'm
to
just
her
kidding. Would
room
everybody make an awareness roll?
and sleep a
Yeah.
little longer if possible.
Mhm.
Of course. I was also gonna say that Rena would like to, while Hoshi's falling asleep, when she's like fell asleep, she goes over and just kind of pokes her face.
You do almost get your finger bit.
Oh, fair.
Almost?
Fair.
As in you try and Rena moves out of the way, or I see.
She had an older sister.
Uh-huh. So there's lots of finger
Reason.
biting. You bet. Phalange fanging and the like.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
said awareness.
Phalange fanging.
Thank you.
What in
yes.
the? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
When you sink your
Um,
little teeth first into somebody's phalanges, you know.
Two successes, which makes sense because I'm a thief.
I rolled 5 dice and got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice.
So I played Yahtzee earlier.
I
Where are
rolled-
those rules then?
I rolled 7 dice, and I got 2 successes.
Ooh.
Damn.
Roughies.
She's having a rough day.
I had a 6 and 2 4s, but then I rolled a 1 and a 2.
So 2 successes.
2 successes.
So far, do we have anybody who got 4 successes?
I got 4.
Hey!
I think.
Well, it's your namesake. You're always got 4.
This,
Right.
this
Tanamichi,
kind
how'd
of
you
makes
do?
sense for what I have for Tanamichi. I got a 6, 3 3s, and a 1.
Oh,
I got 0.
right. You
but
got
that
big.
also
Go ahead.
kind of makes sense for what I'm thinking, because Tanamichi's just like kind of watching it, like when Molly goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Molly, Hoshi.
I don't think.
Hoshi goes to
No, like he's no Molly.
Oh,
He's got his eye on Molly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
not in a creepy way.
Hanamichi,
Not in a
don't
creepy way.
kill a party member.
Kill is such a
no,
strong
he's-
word. Party member might actually be a bit of a stretch. I'm just kidding.
Well, maybe at this point, from 4's perspective.
4. Also, no killing Molly.
No,
like
just
that's gonna be Kai's whole priority 1. Is like I'm you're gonna see like Kai
nobody
like stripped off like the primary stealth suit, is washing that in Hoshi's bathtub, and
No, there's good quick laundry services. Now
There's
Kai
no
can choose
power.
to not use them.
again.
You don't have to be the one to
washing
wash
in
them.
Hoshi's bathtub. No, but he's just like not really comfortable like going to sleep at the moment after Molly's reveal. He just does not trust.
Oh, you think she's
Does
like a
not
praying
trust.
mantis or something?
Just because she has antenna does not make her an insect.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. So he's not aware of a lot of else right now because he can only think about that.
You bet. Before we wrap this up, those of you whose names are Rena, have one of these things appear like 3 feet in front of you out of thin air. There's a belch of brimstone, and they wake you up on purpose.
Hold on. I want to show the chat what this is. Hold on
Sure.
one
Oh, hey,
second.
that's
This is
terrifying.
significant.
Oh, hey, that's terrifying.
Wait,
Hold on.
Even with 4 successes, it still doesn't see it.
Oh, no, the 2 of you see it because some of you were asleep, so it's not a group check. The 2 of you that got 4s see it for sure.
Yep.
Hey, that's bad.
Yeah, this is not great. I'm trying to find
Crossbow.
add image. Where is it?
I think Hoshi is so
You
tired
can see through them for what
that
it's worth.
she doesn't with the 2 awareness, she's like, huh? And then like rolls over, goes back to sleep in the chair.
That creature, soldier, whatever it is, marches towards her. It just appears in like a belch of brimstone, like 6 feet away from Rena, will march towards her, call her by name very loudly. And I mean the whole thing. If you have a middle name, they're going to use that.
Oh no.
The very, like, while it is not your dad, that's your dad's voice coming out of it.